going away! Sharon!
Last year, the state spent an estimated £9 billion on just 120,000 families.
Does smell it here, though, does it?
There's been a fight in my garden, a fight across the street.
Little bastard, you want to stop him from fucking knocking round, yeah?
So let us get out there and heal the scars of a broken society.
I can, if needed, be there at 7 in the morning to make sure the children are up.
Sean!
I'll buy into it and be there at 5 o'clock to make sure there's food on the table. It's really, really not looking good.
No, because last time you did that, you didn't come.
There's unrealistic expectations to suddenly go from being nightmare families to the next minute being the Waltons.
Vicky McEwen is 24. It's her first year working for the Family Intervention Project, having left university with a degree in criminology. As a FIP worker, it's her job to help Newcastle's most troubled families.
7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to visit the Thompson family. At this point, social services are concerned that the home conditions are not suitable for children to live in and the boys are being neglected. It's by going at this time, I'm not aiming to catch them out, I'm just aiming to get a picture of what's really going on, who does what, who's up. It's a starting point to see where we need to go from here.
Social services have brought in FIP to contribute towards an assessment and help the Thompson family.
Morning.
Morning.
Are you feeling better today?
No, he's not, because he's got the stickers.
He's got what?
He's got the stickers.
Oh, no.
Morning. Robbie, come on! Robbie!
Robbie's 4 years old, and I was quite concerned that he'd been ill and his parents were not up, seeing to his needs.
Robbie, come on! Robbie, please! Come on, get washed!
No one's up that's going to school. Where's everybody else, or is this your job this morning?
No, I haven't slept properly. I just got up early.
Oh, right.
They come down with them being a mess.
Robbie is being cleaned up by his grandma, Doreen.
Most children would wake up in the night and go and get mum or dad up to tell them that they'd been ill, where Robbie obviously hadn't.
Does smell it here, though, does it?
But they've got 5 house cats. There was a strong smell of cat urine.
Come here, Robbie, I'm not finished. I've got some on your boots.
Robbie's brother Brandon is 7 years old.
Morning, Brandon. How are you this morning? One thing that I'm very aware of with Brandon is I've never seen him smile, which is very concerning for a child of that age.
Brandon! I have some underpants for Robbie, please, and some pyjamas.
I think Claire's getting up. I think this might be Claire
On your
now.
boots. Shush.
I'm glad to see you up.
Claire moved back into her mum Doreen's house after splitting up with Brandon and Robbie's father.
You're a morning person, Claire?
Not really. So I'm going to be stuck up, am I?
No.
I'm going to put Robbie to bed with you.
Claire works as a part-time cleaner in the evenings.
Brandon, instead of mucking around with that, please.
Stepdad John moved in 3 years ago, shortly after meeting Claire.
You thought you were having a lie-in, John. You were wrong.
John, you need a...
Who's sick?
No,
Oh.
the other end.
Is it just in the bed, though?
Well, he had his underpants on,
Oh,
so...
okay. So it's just in the bed, probably.
Yeah. Please.
You'll have to tidy your smelly room, though, won't you, Robbie? See you later, Brandon.
See you later.
See you tonight. In my opinion, it's more about neglect and just general unawareness of what they should be doing.
They get fed, bath, fed, watered.
They're quite open about what they are doing, which in my opinion shows that they don't think it is wrong because they are so open about it.
I do get to see to their needs. I love them and all that. I get hugs and play with them and that. So as far as I'm concerned, that's what a parent does. See to their needs and play with them and make them laugh.
It's been the way I've been brought up, the way I brought my own 2 kids up. It's no harm to them.
On the advice of Vicky and other professionals, Claire is called to a meeting at social services.
How did it go?
Really bad. It's like neglect. As if they don't do what they're asking, they will push it for court and that.
And what does court mean?
They would take the boys. They'll push to take the boys. If it has to go to court, they'll push to take the boys off us.
Do you think you're going to lose Brandon and Robbie?
I have a scary feeling I might, because I've been in my life twice now. So I've got a scary feeling I might.
Claire has been given 3 months to improve the home environment for her boys. She knows working with Vicky is her best chance of achieving this.
It was opened in January because...
Newcastle's FIP was set up 7 years ago. Each worker is responsible for 4 families.
I was with kids about when she was younger and she was smoking and staying out and children's social...
FIP can be called in by social services or housing as a last resort before court intervention.
He witnessed the attack on his mother when he was 7, when a knife was used on his mother.
What makes FIP unique is the amount of time they are able to spend with every troubled family.
I think that there's sometimes really unrealistic expectations on families to suddenly go from being, you know, labelled as problem, nightmare families or whatever, to the next minute being the Waltons.
I mean, he's had 15 stop and searches since January, usually to do with disorder.
We're a long-term intensive support service and we can be involved with families for up to 2 years. I'll be honest with you, there's families that have been with us for longer than that.
In a leafy suburb on the other side of Newcastle lives Sharon Gibson. Sharon is a 43-year-old unemployed single mum. She's being blamed by neighbours for teenagers running riot on the estate.
Well, I had a huge gang. First it was just a lot of shouting and we heard this loud, like a thud smash sort of thing, and there was my window smashed.
Quite funny actually. The knocker Sharon was sitting there.
Sharon is 14 years old and Sharon's only child. She hasn't been to school for over a year.
I just didn't like it, so I just stopped going. I went in primary school more than I did in high school.
Sean.
Oh my God,
Sharon hangs around the house with her friends and 16-year-old boyfriend Martin.
Martin! Stop tormenting me, Ma!
They've been together for 7 months and Martin spends most nights there.
Does Martin bring a lot of the trouble here?
Oh, he does, aye. People bring us bother, we don't cause bother.
We'll go out and get accused of doing stuff.
Oh, just everyone hates you, Sean, really, around here. Your neighbours. Oh,
my neighbours proper despises.
But when you look at it, I suppose from as an outsider, you don't go to school. You've got the police coming round here.
Does look bad.
That's why Dino won't come.
It's almost getting to the point that every time there's a knock at the door, it's somebody to complain.
Oh, shut up, the movie don't like me, hey! Hey!
About 2 hours.
Claire Stewart has a background in counselling and has been working for the Family Intervention Project for 5 years. The majority of them have been spent supporting mum Sharon with her mental health issues. But now 14-year-old Sharon is her priority.
In the last couple of weeks, we've had Sharon run away from home. There's been complaints put into the council about bad behaviour, and Sharon still needs to go to school. So that's a big hurdle for us to get over.
And there are even more problems.
Eggs have been thrown at this house, and what's happened is the neighbours, I'm guessing, think that it's actually Sharon and Martin who've been doing it. Hi. Hi, Sharon. You all right?
Charlie!
You're all
I need
right.
you to get these dogs. Sean! Sean!
Are you all right?
Having so many people shouting at you and screaming at you and saying this has happened and that's happened and it's them to blame and this is to blame. You know, you've got Sharon and her friends getting all upset and agitated and they're shouting things and you don't know what was being said and whether, you know, who was telling who to F off or whatever.
Sharon had promised to go back to school, but hasn't after receiving abusive messages and texts.
This started because Martin was a naughty boy and went behind Sean's back with somebody who was meant to be Sean's friend. And the person decided to get very nasty and send some very nasty messages to Sean.
Good girl. Good girl.
Hello. Oh, Martin.
Sharon has agreed to allow Claire into her room to talk about the messages.
They coming in? How are you?
Fine.
You sure? What about all those texts and messages?
They've stopped now, maybe.
Because I've been reading through them and I'm wondering what it was like when that was happening. Were you frightened?
Not really. Because I know that they're like more of our like texts and that they won't actually do it. Most of them.
But you didn't want to go to school in case it did happen.
Mm.
Is there other reasons why you didn't want to go? Just because of that? You're going to get the room sorted? Do you want to come back on Tuesday? Will it be beautiful? Yeah. Grand. Are you worried about anything? Are you texting each other? Right, cheerio. See you later. That was the first time that Sean's let me in her bedroom for a very, very long time. So that, for me, was a big step forward, and she's let me see the mess and how bad it's gotten. There's a lot of work we can do from that, and I don't just mean about cleaning it up. I'm talking a whole loads of stuff about self-image and self-esteem and valuing yourself. Something's gone really wrong inside Sean.
Sharon was only 11 years old when FIP were first brought in to help her mum with her mental health issues.
I was so ill and I was so depressed because I was facing eviction. My benefits were all in a mess. They were just kept stopped paying us, and then when they were putting it back in, I was weeks in arrears with everything. And I had said that I was going to burn the house down. Me and Sean were going to be in it, and I was so sick, and so they ended up taking Sean away, which was a bit of a bad time, wasn't it? Hello?
Yeah. Ma, is it alright if I go to Chapley House?
Not till after 4:30.
Sharon didn't want to leave her mother because she was frightened that something would happen to Sharon. For an 11-year-old girl, that was really scary.
Sharon was placed into care for 2 months. Claire helped Sharon get her back and has been supporting the family ever since.
You're going to the doctors. It'll only be less than a 5-minute appointment. How will it be ages? She's going for some contraception. The implant. And then it means that don't need to worry about anything for 3 years, basically. It's getting her there that's going to be the problem. Because I'd rather go off with her friends. You know, it's 4:30, the appointment.
3 months ago, Sharon became pregnant with Martin's baby, but had a miscarriage.
If she gets pregnant again at the moment, it will go into court, I'm sure, to have that baby removed. That's what the social worker expressly said.
Sharon made it quite clear that she is not able to cope with a baby at the moment on Sean's behalf, and she isn't, and Sean couldn't manage a baby.
It'll only be a 2-minute appointment. Sean! Sean!
I take it you're not going to the doctors then?
Not really. It's a mission away.
And this is what she will do. And this is what she's like if I say, you know, she can't have her friends in, or no, they can't stay overnight or whatever. She does exactly the same thing. So it's like a battle of wills at the minute.
My priorities are to get Sean into school and to get some contraception. But it is ultimately Sean's choice, as long as you've made every effort and made it as possible as you can. At the end of the day, she makes that choice.
Thanks, John. Bye. Bye.
3 weeks from first meeting the Thompsons, family intervention worker Vicky McEwen is working on a plan to help keep their boys from being taken into care.
In comparison to the other fit families that you...
Millions times worse. That's how
Right.
I'm
Yeah, okay.
going.
No, I'm getting you.
What's been spilt on it? What's that? What's that on it?
What? Sam!
This is Robbie's room. Just rips all the paper off. It's not just been Robbie, it's been Brandon as well. Brandon. You're decorating straight away, but if you haven't got the money to decorate straight away, you can't. He has it the kind of same way I had it. If I could afford to do something, we did it. If we can't, then we couldn't. So that's the way it was. And basically that's the way it is for my boys.
How you do that, Willie? Yeah, keep walking that way.
Working with families, you see that behaviours are quite often learnt from parents, and it's sort of a generational issue that's passed on.
Robbie, on the path, please.
And that can be quite hard because you're asking them to change behaviour that they've been doing for such a long time, and it's not going to change overnight, and it's not going to be an easy change.
I got took off from my parents at 6 months old from my social services. All I was trying to do was crying all the time. So social services come in, took me and my brother off my parents. My dad ended up in prison again, and my mum. And your brother ended up in prison. And my mum just disappeared after they took us off us.
I'm going to very much work on the areas such as parenting, roles within the family, and trying to get the family to achieve what they need to in order to keep those children at home.
Vicky spends the morning with the Thompsons, laying down some new house rules.
Right, before we go through this, I just want to say I want people to be honest. I don't want to go away and find that people are upset or whatever. I'd rather we get it all out in the open now, because we can only move forwards when we know where we're at. In terms of in the morning, obviously you said you take it in turns to get physically up and the other one's maybe in bed. What I would like to see is that you're both physically up. Because usually, and I'm not meaning this in a disrespectful way, people be up and going to work. So we need the boys coming to you.
Yeah.
If you're both getting up, then there's two people there for them. Because one thing that often happens is, in terms of especially people involved with social services, they'll say, I'm not hitting the children, I'm feeding them, they've got a bed. Do you know what I mean? Basic needs.
Yeah.
But in terms of it's that emotional thing and having someone there when you're feeling really crap and down and stuff, it's just responding to that and not just ignoring it. That's what we want to see.
We can often get a lot of bravado from families saying, oh, well, I don't need things to be different, and what you're telling me, the way I bring up my kids is all right. We need to show them a comparison, so it's not always about sitting down and having the chat. You've got to be creative, you've got to try and make it real for them, and bring it to life a bit.
You've got what?
The boys are off.
Yeah.
They break up on Friday.
Well, that could give you an opportunity to take them somewhere for an hour.
Oh, yeah,
They break up tomorrow.
To the park or something.
Vicky's suggestion of a trip to the park is the Thompsons' first outing together in weeks.
do you say you get out with the boys to go and play?
Not a lot. So if I haven't got the money, or the weather's bad.
Do you enjoy coming to the park?
Yeah.
Do you get to come very often?
Not much.
What do you do this weekend?
Absolutely not. Just had a quiet day in.
This is the first time I've ever seen Claire at the park. It's not the first time I've ever seen her do anything with the boys, but at the park. But I think she actually enjoys it, even if she's not saying it, because she's joining in and stuff.
Up there.
And again. Should we lift you?
Look at my shoulders.
It's important that Claire and John start to see that it does have an effect, it does make the boys happier, gives them something to talk about. And I suppose it gives them that time to be children, and inevitably they will mess around and stuff, but because they don't do that at home, I think it's important that they can just be children.
Martin!
This is beginning.
Where is it?
At the Gibson house, Martin, Sharon's 16-year-old boyfriend, has been accused of stealing the neighbour's football.
Just have to wait till the police come then?
You worried about the police coming, Mark?
No, we've been here plenty of times, they don't really bother me.
Why are you letting him steal around?
People keep asking me that. If I don't allow him to come at some point, my daughter's not going to be here. We've been through this loads of times. We've been where she's just done off because I haven't allowed him. So what do I do?
You know how much ball it was? They got a ball out that garden though.
Did they?
I wasn't supposed to tell you that. Well, they did, yeah.
How do you know?
Because I was there when I got it.
Martin! Come here! You did go next door and get a ball. Because I've just been told you did. No, you're not going away! Sods. Get in. I'm going for a walk.
Where are you going?
Find the ball. Out.
They've smashed eggs on me sitting room window. There's been a fight in my garden, a fight across the street. Just abuse, verbal abuse.
Get it out.
We never ever leave our house empty now. Never.
You? And you wonder why I've got ripped with my bloody neighbours? It's not funny, Martin.
Hello, Sharon?
We went up that way.
Little bastard, do you want to stop him from fucking knocking around, yeah? Get fucking rid of him.
Get in.
Fucking damn disgrace, man. Every fucking day, this show.
Do you think people look at you as trouble?
Yes. I don't blame them.
Why is that?
It's with the way I go on.
It's putting Sharon's tenancy at risk because obviously you can't go around upsetting the community like this. And other things have been going on as well. Police were called 2 nights ago for something else associated with Martin's behaviour. So we'll have to talk about all of this and what it means. Sharon, Sean and Martin, first of all I'm gonna let your mum read this. All right, Martin, this is from the housing officer to me, okay? That they've received another complaint about your behaviour while you and your friends were visiting this house. It doesn't really help at this point to say who's right or who's wrong or the accuracy of things. The thing is, it has been said somehow. Your behaviour
And as much as you say, I didn't do it, or it was just a little bit, no, I didn't really do that, it was just this, I was just playing with a ball. Whatever's happening, Martin, is you're putting this tenancy at risk. You were doing it, you and your friends. Nobody said to me that Sharon has kicked a ball or stood on somebody's hedge. It's really not looking good. It's really, really not looking good. No. Why don't you and Sean go upstairs then and give me and Sharon a couple of minutes on our own? Yeah.
No, I don't want the cat.
I think the thing is, the community's got itself into such a state now that they are watching you all the time. That's the feeling that I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get it calmed down.
Ten days later, Sharon is asked to go to the housing office to discuss her tenancy.
She wasn't going to come, I mean, she just flatly refused. When I say flatly refused, it wasn't aggressive, she was just scared. And then yesterday I said, how about we go to the house? You need to do this as part of the process. And she came around, she just perked up and came around, so she's here.
Oh, hello, Joanne. Hi,
Hi,
Sharon. You okay?
Yeah, fine.
You okay, Sharon? Yeah. The reason, Sharon, that I asked you to come along today with Claire is just to go through some of the complaints made, mainly Sean's behaviour in the street and the visitors associated with the property, the noise and just the general disturbance in the area. You see, if Sean and her friends are causing nuisance in the area, if they are friends, visitors to your property, it falls back on you and your tenancy, and all of the complaints, we will then come to you. Inappropriate behaviour has to stop. It won't be tolerated, and we need to just keep an eye on the situation closely. Do you understand what I'm saying, Sharon?
Sharon, what's on your mind?
I think.
Nothing. Do you need to say something?
No.
No? You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Sharon and Sean are quite quiet and soft touches with a lot of things. A lot of kids who've got nowhere else to go and who aren't being controlled have ended up coming into the home, and Sharon's had great difficulty getting these kids out. Trouble comes and finds a home there, and that jeopardises their tenancy.
Two months into working with FIP, the Thompsons are trying to get to grips with their new daily routines set up by Vicky.
We've actually downsized. We've now only got 3 cat litter trays.
So we had 5 cats, and now we've only got the 3 cats because one of the cats that we got rid of was doing all the wet, like urine all over the place.
How often were you changing the cat litter trays?
Only just once a week. But now it's every 1 or 2 days.
Another day now.
For a long time, I didn't feel that Claire understood the reason for the change. It's quite apparent that she's more on board now, so I think she understands more what needs to happen, and she understands that if things didn't change, then she was at risk of losing her boy, so she's now doing things to make sure that doesn't happen.
Shut up, Sammy!
I brought some more charts.
Vicky has introduced a system of charts which ensures all the family stick to the new routines.
If I didn't have a bath on Monday, I would just leave that blank, and if I did on Tuesday, just a tick.
Hopefully the charts will disappear and these routines and habits will become the norm. Robbie, what does it say on the chart you've got to do?
Don't bounce.
No, it doesn't say don't bounce, you've just got to walk, doesn't it? Because otherwise you might fall over. Ooh, ooh.
I'm going to tidy it.
Yeah, that's it, you tidy it up. John and Mum have painted your bedroom, haven't they?
No.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
But who's done this?
Me.
Not you. Because you know in your chart you've got no drawing on walls.
Yeah.
So next time I come, This will still be here, but we don't want any new drawings. Then do you think you can keep the walls clean?
Yeah.
Very good.
Ah, it's filthy.
Decoration and cleaning the house are just short-term solutions.
Uniforms off and get ready for bed, please.
Vicky is helping to arrange for Claire, John and the boys to move into a council house on the other side of town.
It's been hard, but just got to get on with it. I don't like what's happening. That's having to go separate ways, but just got to get on with it for the kids.
Obviously the housing is the next big thing, because as long as she's living with her mum, she will be a child, in terms of she will always look to her mum and expect her mum to jump in and things. We've always said until they move and they're in separate tenancies, we're kind of just treading water and keeping things as they are, and the true changes will happen when they move.
Hello. Wow, I tell you what, it's much better in here, isn't it? Crying out loud. Grant, you've done great in here, mind, Sean. You know your stuff that's to go to the riding school, that you were taking back to riding school. Have you taken it?
No, no.
I wondered if you fancied taking it up with me in the car. Sean used to go horse riding, I don't know, really 2 or 3 times a week. So I wanted to remember that she really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping to trigger some memories as well.
Hiya, Sharon. Hello. Right, take this fabulous, thank you. Not going to ride at all? I want to come back, though. Welcome up. It's really funny. It's just as good. Can you remember Dempsey or not? Yeah? Dempsey and Daisy? Probably Sharon would be about 12 when she came. She started off right from the beginning to eventually started to compete a little bit, so she got quite far with her riding. I think she's certainly always enjoyed it. Sometimes maybe the crowd of kids that she was in with at the time, maybe their interests just wanted a little bit, and not just steered Sharon to go down the other track and do other things. Well, this is who Sharon used to ride.
This is the little girl that I knew was there. It's really nice seeing her relating with the horse. Because she loved it. It's a big change. It's about getting out of the house and leaving the house and leaving that little safe world that she's, not going to school and not going out. So this is really the first step away from that life that she's been living lately this past year, which is why if she wants to, I'll make sure she can get here, at least in the early stages until her motivation and her confidence comes back. I had a text message from Sharon at 7 o'clock on Friday to say that Sharon was pregnant. It does change everything. All the plans that we had and everything Sharon was signing up to have all changed. What needs to happen is a pregnancy test needs to be taken with somebody who can confirm to social services that you're pregnant.
If the test is positive, Sharon will be assigned a social worker who will assess whether she can keep her baby.
Blue side. Not that one. That one. I did that one wrong. I put it in the wrong side.
All right.
Should I put this one on again?
Yes.
So because it's got 2 pink bits, that's a positive, yeah?
No.
Is this correct?
Yes. It's not something I really want her to go through, basically. And to be honest, I don't think she's even physically able to go through it. I don't think she is.
Do you mean carry a baby or deliver?
Both, basically.
So, are you like frightened for her?
The only way I can, for me, to handle it is to just not even talk about it.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Scared.
You're scared? What are you scared about?
Everything.
Do you want to? Do you want to have a baby? You do? All right then. Yeah, it's scary, I think, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's unknown. You don't really know how you're going to react with your own baby till you've got your own baby, do you? So it is quite scary.
I just hope it doesn't turn out like me.
Really? Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know, it's just because...
I think you're nice, Martin.
8 months after Vicky's first assessment, the Thompsons have moved to a council house 5 miles away.
It's your new house, isn't it?
Grandma's house is over there.
Yeah, but Grandma's going to maybe, hopefully, move across here and then she'll live near you and be able to visit, won't she?
Yeah.
Got any of these bags here, and they go up to Mummy's room. Okay?
I'll get this one.
It sure looks a bit heavy, Brandon.
So, what do you think of the new place then?
I like it. It's the right size for me and the boys, I think. Without my mum being in here. Less stressful, I think it's going to be, you know. Figgy, if you mentioned before, this is the way we want it kept. But it will be anyway, because it'll be just me up to me and trying to keep it tidy.
Thing with the cats is fine, have cats, but we just don't want them in the bedrooms because we don't want them weeing and things in the bedrooms. It doesn't bite, does it?
No, no.
Just throwing you out. And obviously sometimes animals get that fusty smell, especially when the heating's on, so you get that warm animal smell. So long as they stay downstairs, then we've not got any concerns with them. We just don't want them weeing in the boys' bedrooms.
Just comes in and out. Quite easy.
Hopefully this will be a fresh start. They'll get the stuff in the house that they need. I'm hopeful that it will work out.
Sharon's pregnancy has put even more pressure on Claire to break the Gibsons' cycle of problems.
Does that get her out of schooling, being pregnant?
It doesn't get her out of schooling at all, no. In fact, it's become almost more important that she's pregnant because she's going to have to demonstrate to the people assessing her as a fit to be a parent. So there's even more pressure on her to go to school.
Claire's helped Sharon get a place in a school for pregnant teenagers.
Sean, come in a minute. Guys, this isn't good. It's really not good. What happened? What happened in here? Seriously, this is really bad. It's not good enough. So, if you want any chance at all to have your baby, Sean, and bring your baby home, you're going to have to start going to school, and this has got to stop. Martin, are you hearing me?
Yes, he is.
Is he hearing me? All right. And that means that you stay here on Sunday night, not at Martin's, yeah? And I can see you going, yeah, I'll do it. And I know what you're thinking, I'll do what the hell I like. So, Sean, buy into it. You know, it's not on. I thought you were joking. You have got to be joking. You know we've been through this. You know the lengths we've been to. You know the risks you're running. Not looking after yourselves, cleaning up after yourselves. You're just showing no signs of any parenting capacity. I think there's other people who aren't taking responsibility for this. Martin's parents need to take a better share of the responsibility. Hi Tracy, you alright? Come in. Can I come in? Thank you.
FIP have no powers to force Martin's parents to help. All Claire can do is speak to his mum, Tracy.
Your mum said you can't stay up at Sharon's through the week. Actually, she said you can't stay up there any time.
No.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Sean can stay here weekends.
Yeah. But you can visit Sharon
Yes.
and Sean, yeah. Tracy appears to be really on board about Martin and Sean's relationship and what that means in terms of them not going to school. They get together and they're a little gang and they don't need anybody else. So she's really getting involved in dealing with that and making sure her own son's going to school.
I wouldn't change him for the world. He's my only son, isn't he? I love him. I can't be a little bastard. Oh, I definitely can. But then also he can be a loving son that you want, innit?
10 weeks into her pregnancy, Sharon's made a decision about her future.
In 2 weeks' time, I'll go back to school.
And what's made you do that?
Well, it's going to make us look more responsible and everything. Because I need education and everything as well, so...
Are you still all a bit in denial about it?
Not really. It's sunk in, to be honest.
She's trying to do all of the things that we've asked her to do to prove that she can parent. And she's going to need parental support. But yeah, Sean's engaging a lot better.
It's been 4 years since Claire first became involved with the Gibsons. With things calming down in and around the house,
Hi, Sharon.
Claire can consider reducing her hours.
So I'm going to come down and see it and we'll start putting together a closure plan where I'll start to step back. And I would look at a period of about 3 months of me stepping back just in case, you know, just in case there's something that I need to come back. So over those 3 months, you'll see me less and less. I'm happy with that. Are you ready for that?
Well, yes. So yes, that's good, yes.
You be this sad to not have to come up here anymore?
In a little way I will be, yeah, because, you know, I've become part of their life, and so in a way that they become part of my life as well. I've thought about them a lot, you know, so in a way I'll be sad, and in a way I'll be glad as well.
It is like having a friend. It's like suddenly having a best friend and then not having that at all. So yeah, so it's going to be like really strange, very hard. I think I'll cry.
10 months on from starting work with the Thompson family, Vicky McEwen is making another unannounced early morning visit.
Can I just comment how tidy this is compared to the previous garden?
The family are all up and about. Brandon is wide awake.
Well, this is mine and Robbie's room. And, it's just messy at the moment because we've just moved in. Robbie's bed, we don't know why it's always messy. Well, there is one reason, because he's only 5. And I'm at the top, as you can see, and so it's like all comfy up here.
Did you like living in the old house?
Nah. It was all scruffy. Everything was boring except the telly at sometimes and me consoles.
As you can see, things are drastically different in the morning to where we started. They wouldn't have had breakfast at home and no one would have been up.
Jumpers on, eat bananas and jumpers on.
Well, it's definitely less chaotic. There's no shouting in the morning anymore.
Come on.
Say bye to your
What's
mum.
going on? Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm very proud of this family. It's amazed me how far they've come and stuff, and just I get a lot of pleasure seeing how happy Brandon and Robbie are now. Have a good day at school.
See you later.
Bye. How do you think things have improved?
There's less stress because we're getting more help. And boys seem to be happy and all with it all.
But now if help was to sort of slowly stop, do you feel confident in doing everything else yourself?
Yeah. Well, was on the phone. If we need to get on the phone, we're on the phone to do something and get the dentist and doctor sorted out.
Okie dokie.
Right.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye. It's amazing to see where they've come though. And that just shows to everybody that give these families a chance and they can change. It's about giving them the chances and helping them to get those chances, because some of these families are quite happy, well not happy, but are stuck in a rut. And I think just things this morning, just how the Claire and John were taking pride in how smart the boys look for school, that was a huge thing.
Both boys seem happy and I'm more involved and more. The boys seem to come to us more. I always want to see us and talk to us. You, out. Just do things every weekend now. We don't just sit around watching the telly all day. Just be a family. So it makes us feel nice inside, warm inside.
So is that it for the day?
No, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning.